Hey YouTube, Jason here with Day Trading Fearless. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you guys hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out my S&P Emini future weekly trade zones. Only $50 for a lifetime subscription. 1 point pays for it all for life. Also, check out my Day Trading Fearless Patreon page where you can follow along with my portfolio for stock and options and dividend stocks. So that's it, and let's jump right into the video. In today's video, we're going to talk about learn how to trade the Fibonacci extensions. Okay, so we're going to talk about Fibonacci extensions, what they are, and kind of the full understanding of them. We're also going to talk about what fib levels to use for the extensions, and then finally targets and entries. So let's pull up the chart. Okay, we're going to look at Apple again, just like we did with the Fibonacci retracements. Now, with extensions, what these are, well, here, let's kind of do a quick recap. Fibonacci retracements are a move from high to low, right? So when you go from a high to low, right, you're looking for the bounces of where to potentially short, right? So we have a high here, a low here. Think of a imaginary trend line right here, right? So then you start to go, okay, hey, we're starting to bounce. And I told you in the last video, watch the 50%. That's kind of the golden number, right? The golden ratio, the highest probability usually. Okay. You'll want to look to get short there and then look for the pullbacks, right? On a bounce back up. Now, and then I also said that you want to watch for the 38.2 as your target, right? If you got short there, maybe look because old resistance will become new support and vice versa. So, also, one last thing with the Fibonacci retracement, think of the 50 to 61% as kind of like your sniper place, right? This is where you want to really look to get short on any bounce up into this level. You could see it happen here and then look at the big fall. So I'll do a video on that later on in this course of that exact trade setup, but that's it for the Fibonacci retracement. Let's get into the extensions, right? Now with the extensions, think of these as their projected levels, right? So right here we have a low and a high, right? Just this leg right here. Okay, this is a swing leg, right? We could see if we draw a trend line, right? We're on the other side. We broke below. I like to call this the fish hook, right? Just like a hook that you would put in a fish's mouth. Look for that fish hook, right? When you see it, you could start to draw your extensions. And what you're doing is you're just going from the low. Hold on. Let me grab this. Go from the low to the high. Okay, and then all the way back down. And what these are these are actually targets of when on that pullback, if we make a new high, those are going to be targets to look for either entries or shorts or exits. Sorry, meaning if we break above here to get long, okay, this might be your first target, second, third, right? But that's what the Fibonacci extensions are. They're mainly targets of where price is probably going to go and where you will see the pauses. Also, with the levels that I use, okay, I like to use the 1.272, the 1.618, and then the 200 level, right? Because think about this. All this is from this leg to this leg right here. Okay, I drew this. If I duplicate this line, it's just going to give us a 100% move up here. So that's where you have 100 and then 200, right? This is the 127, the 1618, and the 200. So with that being said, they're just really good levels that the algorithms like to look for, like to go directly to and do things like and start to pause and reverse or things like that. Now, sometimes you'll have a news event, you'll blow through one, okay, or the market's really strong. But usually if you blow through one, it'll stop at the second one. Same thing, the 127 is probably a very good one. The 1618's even better, right, for reversals. And then the 200 is kind of like my golden number, right? If we make a 200% move, this is my favorite. Think of it this way. If you go short here, you probably have an 80% chance of a pause and a pullback. You have about 85 to 90% chance of a pause and pullback at the 61. And you have about a 95 to 98% chance of a pause and a pullback at the 200. Because everybody who's getting long this, their ultimate target is up here, right? That's kind of like, remember, head and shoulders, all these patterns, their ultimate targets are you flip that pattern over, that's the target. So what happens is we're starting to move up to the 100%, or in this case, the 200. Everybody that got long is starting to go or is selling their stock, right? But then everybody who's looking for shorts, they're also now shorting the stock. So it puts a ton of selling pressure onto the stock, right? So let's do a couple examples, right? Let's look at this, just this move, right? We had this big power move up and then a power move down. If we just draw a fib extension from this from that high to this low right here and then back up, look at what price does. When it falls, comes right to the 127, comes up a little short, it's not always going to be perfect, and then it bounces. And then we gap lower, come in, boom, and then look at this pullback, right? Right to the 1618, and then just goes straight up from there, right? Now, again, you could have gotten long here, target here. Get long here, maybe look for another target over here. In this case, it would have been a gap fill type of, here, get long, maybe use this old resistance or support level, right? Support is now going to become new resistance, and you could have gone long here with a stop there. Now you might have missed it. You have to be okay missing these trades. Okay, so let's look at another one. Let's say we see this leg, right? This is all we see. Here, let's try this again. Let's just go from that leg to that and pull this down, okay? And look at, and so when we break above here, you know, hey, look, let me look for a short up here. And look at this, came right to it, and then we had a little pullback. Now, some are bigger than others and vice versa, but you did have a pullback, okay? And then it kind of ran up a little bit, and then the big pullback happened. Came back up, boom, boom, right? And look at this, came up to the 1618 and just came up a little short. And then finally, just from that leg, look at this. We almost got to the 200 on this ultimate move, right? To the upside. Now, with that being said, I would maybe draw a fib something like this, because we can now see we're in a downtrend, right? A high, low, boom, right? So I would maybe draw the fib from here to here, okay? Just from this whole leg, right? Because here's our fish hook, right? And look at that, came right to the 127. So if price keeps going lower, I would definitely look to be a buyer at this 1618. And another tip is always look for this, right? Look over here. Is there a level we can lean against? Well, yeah, look, we have a wick low, and then we were off to the races, right? So this is a wick low, swing low. And so if price came here, I would love to be a buyer looking for a bounce back up here. Now, also, if you want, you could go, hey, let me get short. We have a shoulder, head, shoulder, potentially neckline. Let me get short. Where would my target be if I got short here? I would probably use this 1618 as a target because I could see we're in a downtrend making lower lows and lower highs, right, on the bigger picture. So that's something that I would really kind of look at for looking at targets and all that. So that's it for this video on Fibonacci extensions. We'll see you in the next video.